Marni's here, let's start your day. Fabulously flawed, we're lighting the way. Monday to Friday, new episodes with laughter and love. Let's start the show. We're shaking things up. Don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Motivation, inspiration, and fun. Fabulously flawed, everyone. So shine a little brighter. Grab your smile and sing along. The show's about to start with Marni, your host. You can't go wrong.
Fabulously flawed friends, welcome to Fabulously Flawed. I'm your host Marni, and it's Wednesday, where I love to give my words of wisdom, let everybody know it's okay not to be okay. You are so not alone, and we are human, and mental health is the same as physical health. In fact, we should just call it brain health. Forget the mental health. Our brain health is as physical as our mental health. And today's episode, I wanted to call Whimsify Your Whimsy, because we need more whimsical. We need more whimsy. Even if you have your whimsy, whimsify it more. Ladies, there are so many women out there holding themselves back in fear of what people will say. People will judge them, being vulnerable. But I can promise you, basically 100%, I'm going to say people are going to talk about you, whether you do what you love or if you don't do anything at all. And when you cannot give a complete rat's ass what anybody thinks of you, that you love yourself enough that people talk about you, well, that's your insecurity. People don't like you. Obviously, there's something in me that you wish you could see in yourself. So it's never about you. It's always other people's projections. And I promise you, anybody that you look up to will never talk down to you or disrespect you. I promise you that. So just the more we love ourselves, and I'm talking from experience, that's why it's my words of wisdom. I have been there and done that. My whole life, I was born into people pleasing, like it was a religion. I was told at 10 years old, basically, life is a game and you have to play it. Not when there's not a prize. No, that's not being authentic. And it really messed me up my entire life, from being abandoned, neglected, and needing to perform in order to get love based upon conditions. And where was I ever going to love myself? I didn't even know what self-love meant until I started healing. And I have to tell you, the day it's like you're Teflon, or like a duck things roll off your back. You just do not care what people say about you. And I am able to do that by sitting here every day, because if I cared what people thought, I wouldn't put myself out here being so vulnerable and talking about my world. And I am so sorry about my throat today. So there were just some little bits of advice that I love to give, that I have gone through and that I know can help you. And I love women supporting women, because, ladies, one woman's success doesn't take away from yours. Why wouldn't I be happy that the lady that lives next door to me, she just got a promotion at her job and she's now a corporate executive? Why wouldn't I be happy for her? I'm a podcast person. That's not my life. Why wouldn't I be happy for the person who landed their dream job on Broadway? I'm not a Broadway performer. So other people succeeding has nothing to do with your life. And so many people, and this was me also for many years, were never happy because all I did was neglect what I do, neglect what I have, and I always looked for and desired what I didn't have. And right there, you gotta, even right now, pause and just think, wait, do I have a roof over my head? Do I have a car? Do I have food to eat? Do I have clothes on my back? Those basic necessities, so many take for granted. And I am sure I did myself. But when I was 17, that time when everything I owned was ripped away from me physically and driven away from me physically, and I was standing there for a moment as the most helpless person on earth. This was 1987, and my family didn't even want to help me. So when you are stripped of nothing, you really appreciate everything. Even if it's, oh, I wanted Chinese for dinner. Well, you're having steak. What can I tell you? Be grateful you're having dinner because there are a lot of people that can't eat. So when you could just look on the gratitude, because it is the most perfect attitude, and you don't look at what you don't have, I promise you will see so much more miracles, magic, and manifestation. So stop comparing to what others have and what you lack. Because again, who cares that their family just bought another house somewhere and it's, 5 more bedrooms? Is that your life? Who cares? That's their world. Do you have your own home? Yes. Do you know what goes on in people's lives? No. So thinking of the envy we feel because the comparison we feel on material things, you have no idea how much more rich you are when you have a family who loves you versus a nice car in your driveway. And a lot of us, we have these unrealistic expectations, whether it's in relationships or life, success to be so perfect that reality becomes disappointing. That's how I lived. And then I was like, fuck that. We're all flawed. Hello, fabulously flawed, because I may be flawed, but honey, I'm still fabulous. So even though I realized, wait, I'm not going to set myself up for disappointment. The fact that I'm here, that's a win. I never celebrated small wins. And that's what you have to do, is celebrate every little, did I get up today? Yep. Did I get all green lights on the way to work? I sure did. Did I have delicious coffee this morning? I sure did. Those little life moments, they, I don't know, they make life a little bit happier. And there's no perfect, but there's perfect moments. There's no such thing. We're all flawed, and we feel like, I know I hold myself back or held myself back. If I couldn't do something perfectly, I wouldn't do it. And now it's just showing up and trying. That's the most amazing, badass thing any of us could really do. And what almost killed me was the unresolved emotional and trauma issues I lived with. My past hurts, my stress, the abandonment, the traumatic experience, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, all of that chronic dissatisfaction ended me up with chronic lymphocytic leukemia and a chronic mental health condition. But the minute we start saying it should be from infancy, when they learn to walk and talk, they should learn I love me, ABC, I love me. But you're never too old to start loving yourself, healing yourself, and working on wounds that I notice whenever I hear this person's name in conversations, you tense up, or seeing somebody on social media makes you like that cringe. So when you notice those and you take awareness and accountability, you can tweak your life not to see those things, and you find more self-love than more self-negativity. And that is part of becoming more whimsical and that inner peace. And this was me forever, is just always chasing the next thing, the next goal, and, not really cherishing the moment I'm in. It's like, okay, I did my podcast. What can I do now? It's like, no, chill. Sit and do your podcast. There's no rush for anything else. And I am so glad that I just go my day by day, because I realize life is just living your day-to-day moments, not just rush from point A to point D. Point A to point D. Where's my head right now? I'm reading something as I'm trying to talk. See? I wasn't being focused from point A to point B. And a lot of people have a lot of unhappiness because you're only looking at the bad. But I promise, your happiness, when I say happiness is a choice, I'm not saying you do not be sad about life circumstances. Of course you are. But there are times where you can see the positive, like, okay, you know what? Thank God I'm able to be in a car with air conditioning this morning. I don't have to walk like these people. Like, just find those blessings for the little things and just focus on the good. Because if it's cloudy out, instead of saying, ugh, it's so cloudy, you could say, oh, it's not raining. So it's just the way you flip the narrative and your perspective. And the biggest wisdomy, whimsical life advice I could give is stop expecting people to think like you and treat you like you would treat them. because people are not supposed to think like you. And I had to say this to my husband when he would say I'm overreacting or I'm too sensitive. I'm like, stop. It's like, dude, have you lived in my brain? You may see the outcome of what goes on in my brain, but you're not supposed to think like me, nor am I supposed to think like you. And it worked once we understood that. And I understood also on the flip side of that, playing devil's advocate, I love to do special gifts for certain people, but if it's not reciprocated, I'm not going to let that ruin my day, because I do things because I want to, not because I'm expecting anything in return. So don't expect anyone to ever think like you or to do things that you would do, because you'll always be disappointed. And I'm going to end this episode on protecting your peace by not arguing with people who enjoy chaos. It's their fuel. They thrive on it. They poke the bear, poke, poke. And then you come back, and now they're arguing with you. Look at you. You're so crazy. Ignore it. If it's not going to bring you peace or profit, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Protect your peace. That is the most important thing. Most expensive currency we have is our peace, our time, and our protection. So protect it. And guys, go to my website, Fabulously Flawed, with 2 Ds on flawed.com. And I would love for anybody to sign up for a 10-minute consult where you could see if I'm a perfect fit to be your motivational, empowerment, personal cheerleader, empowerment coach. I love motivational speaking, but I also love doing it one-on-one. So reach out, and remember to never protect your peace, never, ever, ever let anyone burst your bubble, and never, ever, ever, ever let anyone ever dull your sparkle. Sending so much love and so much peace.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Fabulously Flawed. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, we're so glad you're here, and we hope you'll come back Monday through Friday for another serving of empowerment, motivation, and inspiration. We'll catch you next time on Fabulously Flawed.